Hello, what's the crack? What's that story? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out 11 things not to do in Australia. Ooh, you must say this before you go. I've never been to Australia, but one day I'd love to go to Australia. It's this big, massive country with loads of stuff. So yeah, let's check out what you shouldn't do in Australia.
Australia is many things. It's a continent that makes up the sixth largest country in the world and is home to some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And no, I'm not just talking about Australians. With a little over 8.5 million people visiting each year, tourism is a huge part of Australia's economy. That being said, there are a number of things to look out for when you're there. So let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Number 1. Don't stray from the path. With over 66 different venomous species, which is the third largest concentration in the world, by the way, it's important to know where you are at all times. Now, this is especially true if you plan on trekking or camping in the outback. With things like the common brown snake, box jellyfish, and crocodiles, there's no shortage of dangerous animals here. So it's important that you stay on the path when you're exploring. And that goes for warning signs as well, because while it may seem funny to some people from different countries, here they're very real and should be taken seriously.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the reasons why I'm scared of Australia. You could literally, apparently, you could be in your bathroom and you could see a snake come out of the toilet. Let me know. Has that ever happened to someone you know, or is that some kind of lie? Let me know. Did that actually happen? I've definitely seen an article about that or something online. That, you guys, it's just so dangerous. Like if I was to live in Australia, I'll probably live in a major city where I'm far from all the forest, and the lifestyle, and all this big massive livestock, because it's just dangerous. Crocodiles, snakes. I would never live in the countryside in Australia. Never, never. But yeah, let me know. Let me know below what else not to do in Australia while we're doing this. Let me know. Comment.
Number 2. Don't underestimate the cost. Australia is known for having one of the highest living costs in the world, and traveling there is no different. Now, of course, this is all subjective depending on where you go and where you're from, but it still might surprise you to hear that a beer costs around 9 Australian dollars, and a meal at a mid-range restaurant costs around 40. Now, all in all, if you're really trying to save money, you can get it down to around 100 Australian dollars.
Alright, so a beer is 9 Australian dollars. I'm guessing that's probably gonna be a third of of GBP, Great British pounds. Or is it half of it? Probably like around £5, I'm guessing. And dollars probably like $6. I'm guessing now. I could be wrong, but let me know. What does $10 equal to? I could do the math on my phone, but I'm not gonna do that while I'm reacting. But yeah, you guys please do let me know. Play, thanks.
Dollars per day. And I'll just throw that number out there as an average. But between transportation, food, and lodging, the prices can get a bit expensive. So it's important that you price out your trip accordingly.
Okay.
Number 3, and this is a short one. Don't say shrimp on the barbie. Now, this phrase was popularized by a 1980s ad with Paul Hogan, who was later in Crocodile Dundee, and it was sponsored by the Australian Tourism Commission to try to bring in international travelers. But this is absolutely not what an Australian would say. If they would even use that phrase at all, they would say prawn, not shrimp. So don't make it more annoying than it already is.
I've never heard that before. Shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp on the barbie. That sounds Scottish. But yeah, I've never heard that before. Never in my life. Why? Why would they get mad about that? Yeah.
Number 4, drinking in Australia. Now for this one, I'm mainly talking about major cities, specifically Sydney, so don't quote me on the rest of the country.
Okay.
But in Sydney, you can't get a beer after 1:30 in the morning because they have something called a lockout law, which means no one is allowed in or out of bars past that point in time. And their last call.
Do you say in or out of bars? So once I enter after 1 o'clock, I'm not allowed. How? That's bull. That's a lie. That's a lie. What do you mean I'm not allowed to leave if I'm in there? Nah. So you're telling me people stuck in there 1 o'clock, they're gonna stay in there? That's a lie. That's a lie. That actually reminds me of the Irish law when I was growing up. When I first went to college, you go into so you can go to bars and all that, pubs and all that, but after a certain time, I think pubs are meant to stop serving at I think after 12, 1 o'clock, I think, and then the clubs stop serving at 2:30. Is it 2 or 2:30? I remember that was a massive shock to me when I came to England. In England, bruv, it's all night and it's all night. While in Ireland, it's a certain time cut off. So I'm guessing it's pretty similar to Australia. But yeah, let's continue.
All is at 3 in the morning. And of course, don't drink and try and drive because they have one of the lowest blood alcohol content levels, 0.05, before you can be arrested. And last but not least, don't order Foster's beer. That's not an Australian thing, that's an American thing. Instead, try and order a bottle of Bundaberg. My Aussie friends will know why I'm laughing.
Wow.
Number 5. Don't underestimate its size. Australia is a country with about 25 million people, and because it's a continent, it's made up of almost 7.6 million square kilometers. And despite the fact that the majority of its population is clustered around the coasts, in urban areas, it still means that as a tourist, it's going to take a long time to get from place to place. So it's important to take a look at exactly how long it's going to take you to complete your itinerary. Number 6. Don't always tip. Now, unlike some countries, tipping isn't required in Australia, and that's mainly because their minimum wage is the highest in the world, at around $18.93 an hour. Now, in places
$18. That's close to like 14, 13 or 14 pounds probably. That's a lot. In England, it's like 8 or 9 pounds, I'm guessing. 9 pounds probably. I don't know where it is. But that's ridiculous. When it comes to tipping, I feel like Americans just literally make the whole world, look bad when it comes to tipping. Like if I go to a restaurant now and they're gonna ask me, they want to tip. It's always calculated 10% extra on your bill. So while in America, you guys have to, you feel like you have to put extra down. I'd probably only put extra after tipping with the normal receipt, whatever. If I like a fantastic time, if the waiter or the waiter has been really good to me, then yeah, I'll give them extra money. But I'm not gonna give them extra when they've already calculated half the bill already. But you Americans take it to the next level anyway. But that's because you guys don't pay your staff very well, so it makes sense. Yeah.
like the US, waitstaff require tips to earn a living wage because the national minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Now, if you have great service, for sure you should tip the person. All I'm saying is you won't be scorned like in the US if you don't. Number 7, don't rely on public transport. Now, because Australia is so big and so spread out, public transport is difficult to find outside major cities. You know, it's not like Europe where you can take a train to a small town, hop off, and then hop onto another train to another small town. Australia is just too big for that to be feasible. So you're better off finding other ways to get around. Number 8, don't talk about immigration. Now, forgive me if I have to generalize a bit in order to get the point across. But for the most part, many Australians dislike the way that the government handles immigration. Whether they're anti-immigration.
This is a weird one because I know a lot of people from Ireland that's moved to Australia. A lot. People tend to move to Australia or Canada once they finish university or even before they even go to university or college, whatever you want to call it. People tend to go to Australia and obviously to do things like construction, become a teacher. What else have I seen? Yeah, things like that. People tend to move to Australia, literally. I've seen people go to Australia, make a lot of money, then come back and stay back in Ireland. So it's a massive thing. Immigration is a massive thing in Australia.
Or whether they're disgusted by the way the government handles refugees. Of course, there's all the people in between. But the bottom line is that immigration is a big deal in Australia, and it's easier to avoid the topic. Number 9, don't take anything personally. Now, Australians always seem to be joking around, and insults are one of the ways that they do that. But don't make the mistake of thinking they mean anything by it. There's a funny saying where you know that an Australian doesn't like you if they don't insult you, because it means that they actually think there's something wrong with you and that it'll offend you. Go figure. So take everything.
It's very similar to the Irish. So similar. Do you know how many times that if I'm chatting to someone, I just cuss them and they're like, "What?" I'm like, I'm so used to it. People cuss at me growing up in Ireland, so it's so normal. It's literally so normal. If you don't get cussed at, that means they don't like you. So I like that. It's all banter. It's all laugh. You know, It's good. I like it. I like you get to know people more when you make jokes with them. If you don't make jokes, you ain't gonna know them. So it makes sense. I like the Australians for that.
Everything with a grain of salt. Number 10. Don't be afraid to say hello. Australians have a pretty well-deserved reputation for being laid back. And like I was talking about before with the kidding around, they're good at taking things in stride, which makes it easy as a tourist to make friends. And talking to people is a must. Last but not least, number 11. Make sure you enjoy Australia. Australia is such a cool place with so many fun and interesting people. And there's so much to do there. It's important to keep in mind that these are all general guidelines and tips that I find out while I was there.
Wow.
And I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time while you're there.
That was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, Australia's like a place to go then. I have to go to Australia. Oh my days. It looks really, really nice. I have to go. But yeah, let me know what part of Australia you're from. If you're from Australia, if you've been to Australia, the part you like in Australia, the part you didn't like in Australia, or if you have any more tips about what not to do in Australia. All in all, it was very, so what I probably would have thought of, and then there's probably one or two stuff that I kind of learned, which is good. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Shrimp on the barbecue. Bye bye.